Let's go. It's time to play.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go.
Second down, Winston. Throw to the right, taken in by Barrios. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Winston over the middle downs. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Demario Davis there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. He can run for it, and he will. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Good. Ready.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
36.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Here we go.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Ready, my shot.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch.
Here we go. Hey, easy.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Easy.
On third down, here's Kamara. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of...
Now Breeze wants the football, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Force!
Set! Move!
Second down, Fitzpatrick. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Let's get it.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. He finds his target, it's Evans. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Third and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. And the Saints signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The give is to Jones. And an alley to run. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be second down.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys! Tight end left! Hey! Force! Ready!
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Set! Move, 45! Move, 45!
They'll try and run for it with Jones. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Fitzpatrick will sneak it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. We focus our attention here on the Saints offense as they come out. And last year, they were coming into 2017 with 3 straight 7-9 seasons. Well, they got it turned around. Won the NFC South at 11-5. Won a wild card game. And then we all know the story. Heartbreak in Minneapolis.
But it's one that won't break this team, I don't believe. I think it's actually something that they can use as fodder for the season, as something to build upon. And when you think of New Orleans, you naturally think of offense. You think of Drew Brees. You think of Alvin Kamara last year as a rookie, making the big plays. Mark Ingram running the football, throwing it to Mike Thomas out wide. But the key to this team continuing to get better remains on defense. And I think it was shown in the draft when they made the big move and drafted Marcus Davenport out of UTSA to rush the passer. They know they've got to win their division, which means slowing down some high-powered offenses in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta.
Monday. Get set, get set. Tight end right, tight end right. Good, 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 good. 5-4, ready for check.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
21. Ready for check.
Now Breeze. That's complete to Meredith. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Well, these Buccaneers coming off a 4-game drop-off from a year ago, 9-7 in Dirk Cutter's first season to 5-11 last year. It's now 10 straight seasons without a playoff appearance, and in fact, they have not won a playoff game, Charles, since winning Super Bowl 37.
And in order for them to get back to the playoffs, they've got to go through their division, which is awfully tough and high-powered on offense. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. So the Buccaneers made the investment. Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. Also picked up Bo Allen and Vinnie Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles. So the defensive front taken care of. They also picked up Vita Vea, a massive defensive tackle from Washington in the first round of the draft. Then they picked up a couple of corners. They know that on the defensive side of the ball, that's where they have to make their biggest gain to chase down their division rivals.
Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 34. Breeze now on first down. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Get set, get set. Let's go.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it two different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On second down, Fitzpatrick again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on third down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, And when it's kicked, then you get the takeoff and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Throwing Fitzpatrick. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Here's Ginn. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago, then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans, they don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 2nd down, Ingram trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down.
Hey. 4 down.
Now Breeze on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Fitzpatrick on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing again here. Fitzpatrick on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. Third down here. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. The Bucks on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick. Right side caught by Jackson. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. Now it's Ginn. Now, a nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 right at the 40. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Josh Jones in on the stop.
Here we go.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And a short gain down to about the 33. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Ready. We're waiting.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Ready. We're waiting. Monday. Under.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Ingram's got the first down and more. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Check it back. 36, 36. 12, 12. 53, check 53. Got 11, 11, 11, 11. Come on, QB, come on.
Now Breeze. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
21, 21, 21.
A final shot before half for Breeze. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Traquan Smith with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Get set, get set. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And Josh Hill has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3 down, ready. You waiting? Set.
Ingram again. And he gets it down to the 32. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go, here we go. Easy, kill. Ready. Yellow 80, yellow 80. 36, 36.
Now a play fake here on first down. Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now they'll throw with Breeze. They go screen. This is Ingram. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Ready. Move 90. 3 down. Ready for shot.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Guys, check me out. Where's shot? We got to stand up over there. Where's shot?
They're running. Ingram. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Yes! 12. Ready. We're waiting. Hey, left. 11. Good. Ready, let's go.
Into the red zone. It's Breeze. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Umpire threw the flag. Usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities. But always making sure no one's holding.
They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
0-2. Ready. You ready? Good set. Ready for shot.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. Vinny Curry in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
11. Hey.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
We got 4.
Set. Move 45. Move 45.
Check your hot read.
Second down, looking to throw. Fitzpatrick. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Rankins able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. 3rd and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Good set, good set, good set. Here we go.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On first down, Breeze. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram from 10 yards out. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Demario Davis able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. This is taken at the 10. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. There, 28-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter from Foxborough. And what about the Texans, folks, leading that game to this point? Deshaun Watson, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Boston Scott, his first carry. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Now the backup Savage. Over the middle to Smith. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists in the offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Leopard!
On first down, Scott. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down is Savage. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7.
3 down.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Baby, get him, boys. Get him, boys.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Lutz puts this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next?
Too cautious.
We'll see how they attack them here.
Now let's go.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. On third down, here's Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Saints on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Showing 8.
Now a handoff to Ingram. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jones, and he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Here's Brian Anger now in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt the football. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them. They managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game. And they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field. And now the final stages.
Gun!
Alert! Alert!
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Savage is going to throw it. The catch made over the middle again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
53. Pick me up. Here we go.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Saints, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to